Hello everyone, welcome to another Animeasy video. Today we're doing Pivot Animator once again and I'm going to be teaching you scrolling, teleportation, effects and saving in different formats other than .piv like .gif or .avi. Now before we start, to those who are new to our channel, welcome to Animeasy. On this channel, we're going to teach you how to animate using simple softwares like Pivot Animator and Scratch and many more that we will discuss in the future, and I'll also teach you how to make fun games and code using Scratch again and Microsoft Code. So without further ado, let's begin by opening Pivot Animator. So guys, as always, I'm going to show you guys my dimensions. My width is 1200 and my height is 700. But for today, since we're going to export it, I think I can make it 1500 or maybe not. Yes. Let's keep it to 1300. I think that would be the best. There you go. That is perfect. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to teach you guys the scrolling effect. So I'm going to turn this guy, let's say dark blue. There you go. So that's our dark blue figure, and then I'm also going to add another figure and his color is going to be dark red. That's sort of pinkish. Let's make our own color. So I'm going to add this to the custom colors so that I can use it in the future. So this is the shade of red that we're going to use. So I'm going to add this and I'm going to click on OK. There you go. And guys, I'm also going to teach you another trick that I've been using lately. Now first of all, we need the real scrolling. So we're going to start with the scrolling animation. Now guys, you might think, what is scrolling animation? Well, the scrolling is just going to be like the screen will move towards this side, so that means the figure will move towards this side or whichever side you're scrolling, the opposite to that side. So in this case, we're going to be scrolling to the left, that means our figure will be moving to the right. And guys, don't add any animations to your figure while you're scrolling, you're just showing that your screen is moving. Alright, so it starts like this. I'm going to center my figure. There you go. I'm going to add one frame. And as I move my figure, I'm going to keep adding frames like that. So I've set my onion skins to 9, but you can increase or decrease them as per your needs. Now comes the difficult part. So I'm going to hold down Shift. This is a little trick you've got. So now I'm going to click on this figure as well and hold down Shift, and now if I pull them, then they're going to be both pulled by me. So this helps maintain an even distance. There you go. So now the scroll effect is done and I'm going to show you guys how it turned out. So let's play this thing. Look at that. So it's like the figure just comes out of there. I'm going to turn loop off so that we can continue with the animation. Okay. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the teleportation effects. Like, of course you guys know what is teleportation, like disappearing from one place and then appearing again in another place. So there are actually two types of teleportation effects that you can use in Pivot Animator. Actually 3, yeah, not even 2. So you can do this one, which is the really easy one. So you just get the opacity to 0 and you add a frame. So suppose I want my figure to teleport to there, and there you go. So he's teleported. Yeah, this is the really easy one. This is the one for inexperienced people. But of course, you guys have a lot of experience, I suppose. Yeah, look at that. That doesn't look good, does it? So I don't want these. Yes, I don't want this. There you go. I don't want this to happen. This is not a good idea. There you go. So the first one I'm going to be teaching you guys is the fade out and then fade in teleportation effect. So that was the cheap one. Now we're going to teach you a few of the better ones. So the fade out and the fade in, as you might have guessed, depends totally upon the opacity. So you keep decreasing the opacity, add frames, here you go. So you keep it like this for a few frames. I'm going to take him to the center. So I'm going to keep it like that for 2 frames at least, and then we're going to start increasing the opacity again. So let's play this thing once. Okay, look at that, the scroll effect. Yeah, did you guys see like how cool was that? He faded in sort of. So now is the other teleportation effect which the red guy is going to be using. Alright, so this is called the size difference teleportation effect. Now you actually keep adding frames as you increase or decrease the size. In this case, since I am teleporting to a new location, I'm going to be decreasing the size until it's 0, and you've got to keep adding frames while you're doing that, as you might have noticed. And now you've got to get the opacity to 0 and you've got to make it 100 again, just for a good reference. So I'm going to put him right here, or rather right here. There you go. So I actually find this teleportation effect a lot cooler. So I'm going to get this back to 0, increase the opacity back to 100, and now while I'm increasing, I'm going to add frames. So this is the coolest teleportation effect there is. There you go. So now let's play this. There you go. Yeah, look at that. That is so cool, isn't it? Okay. So now I'm going to teach you guys the spin effect. I know I haven't mentioned that earlier, but this is another one that you guys have to learn about. So I'm going to create figure type and I'm going to change this to a circle and fill it like this. So let's say I want these two to join together. So I'm going to add this to the animation and I'm going to save it as power of friendship, because they're going to basically join together. There you go. Alright. So I'm going to turn this little orb thingy green. Or let's turn it gold, because friendship is like gold, I suppose. That's what they say at least. Okay, so I'm also going to make this thing sort of appear like zoom in, sort of like just the way we do when we use the teleportation effect, the resize one. So I'm adding frames while I'm increasing this size. There you go. So now we have this, and now it's going to start rotating. So you want to keep adding frames as you move this around. So that's another trick for speed motion. So now I'm going to join these two together. So now actually this orb is going, oh no, not the figure, the orb. I forgot to select the orb. Okay, so I've selected the orb here and it's going to keep growing until it occupies the space between the two. So I'm like constantly adding frames. That's what you've got to do in this case. And until and unless it's big enough, you don't delete it. So you've got to make it cover both of them. So it keeps growing, it keeps growing. So you've got to add frames really rapidly, as you might see up there. And I'm sure you can hear me clicking space a lot. And there you go. And now it slowly drops so that it covers both of them. There you go. And now everything's opacity. Okay, I'm actually going to delete this one and turn these two transparent, totally transparent, like no opacity at all. So now I add a frame like that. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is, this is also a really cool effect. It isn't really an effect, but it's basically like a color combination thingy. So here I'm going to say red is 10 and blue is 10 and green is 0. So that turns black. We don't want that. Let's say blue as 50 and red as 40. There you go. So they sort of combine to form this dark purple. Wait, this didn't work. Alright. So I'm going to make the dark purple once again. Define custom colors. Go to this pink place, just between the blue and the pink. And there you go. Add to custom colors, and I'm going to click on OK. So now it's of this color. And now I'm going to center it again. I'm going to slowly increase the opacity. There you go. So let us play, and this is going to be super nice. Okay. Look at that. The speed motion effect in this one is great. It's just amazing. So it keeps on expanding. Keeps expanding until it covers the both characters. Okay, so now it's going to drop, I suppose, and just form the purple one. Alright, so now I'm going to export this as two different types. Alright, so I'm going to export this in my animations place. Now, first of all, I'm going to export it as an AVI video. So these are all the AVI videos that I've created, not too many, but I've mostly created GIFs, that's why. I'm going to name this, oops, typo, Power of Friendship, and I'm going to put it underscore AVI. There you go. Let's save this. And guys, you might be wondering, what is the super sample? The super sample is basically a little option that allows you to make your animation quality a lot better. No, I don't want it to compress. Alright, so actually it resizes your whole project, but don't worry about that. It's not going to change any of the frames. But as you might have noticed, there are little bits of pixelation on the figures. So it's going to fix that and make them a lot smoother. But remember this, the resize option used in super sample and this resize option is totally different. So yes, we don't want to resize it here. We want to resize it in the super sample so that it resizes only the animation and not the whole frame size. So I'm going to click on OK, and this usually doesn't take too much time. And while we are saving this, I'm going to talk a little bit about AVI and GIF animations. So when you make GIFs in Pivot or any other software which you can use to make GIFs, you're going to notice that it keeps looping. So the same thing is going to be repeated many times. So that's called a loop, of course. And what I'd suggest for GIF is that you make something where the position remains constant and you have to do at least the same thing twice to make the loop proper. Or if you just want a normal GIF like the ones you find in Jiffy, then it's okay. But if you're making an infinite GIF thing, then yeah, I think you should do the loop properly. And also for AVI videos, it's a totally different thing because in AVI it doesn't loop like GIF. So it plays only once until you select the option of looping in your media player. Now since my Windows media player doesn't work very well, I am using the VLC media player. So there is the option of loop in the VLC media player. So you can use that option. And what's different is that in .piv files, or well, not .stk because this isn't a figure file. So in .piv files, the default Pivot animation files, as you know, it has to be opened with Pivot Animator. But in this way, you're making it available for everyone, even for those who don't have Pivot Animator. So suppose you're like making this animation for a teacher, let's say you're a computer teacher. So then maybe if she doesn't have Pivot Animator, or maybe if she doesn't know how to run it, then you can give these videos or GIFs to her in replacement of the .piv. So this is almost done saving. There you go. I think it's saved. Now I'm going to open it. Where did I keep these animations? For sure. Yes, Power of Friendship. There you go. Look at that. Now it's an AVI video. And don't mind the AVI repeated twice because I put an underscore there just so that it's easier to understand. And look at that, the spin effect. I really love that effect. Now it's going to increase in size. And because it's a video and it's not a GIF, it took longer time than it should. But if it's a GIF, then it shouldn't take as much time as a video. So I'm also going to show you guys the GIF format, so stay tuned for that. In this video itself, there you go. So it turns purple. Nice. So that's a nice ending. And now I'm going to export it again. And this time I'm going to select GIF. And also separate images is another way, but I think it's not a good way because it saves every frame as a separate image. So how is that good? Like, it takes up a lot of space. I don't think that's good at all. So I'm going to save this as Power of Friendship again, but this time I'm going to put underscore GIF. So I'm saving it and I'm going to set the super sample to 4. The more your super sample, the better your video or GIF. So this doesn't usually take long. Alright, so while it's saving these, I'm going to show you guys some of my previous animations. So I made this one today itself. Like, it's a pretty nice one. It's weird, I know. But it's pretty nice. Like, look at that. That is so cool, isn't it? And the last one disappears. And guys, here's the proper loop that I was talking about for GIFs. It's the infinite teleport one. So look at this. I've used the resize teleport effect. Like, I've actually used this one twice, as you might have noticed. But I've used it in this position once and this position once. So it's a perfect loop. Like, it keeps on going forever. And I've downloaded some GIFs from the internet. Like, this is also a perfect loop. I'm also a huge fan of Legos. That's why I have so many Lego GIFs. that is also a perfect loop since everything's falling, so you can't really understand what's happening. This is also one. This is the Minecraft silverfish. Yeah, there you go. Also there's this one, the perfect loop. Yeah, so I think you guys can guess what's happening. Yeah, so again the blue gets lifted off and like that it keeps on happening. So I can't show this thing forever because it's going to take forever, yes. Also I have used a surprise resize on this one. So you can just resize it suddenly after decreasing the opacity. And there you go. That is sort of scary, right? It's sort of like a jump scare. So this is still getting saved. So I can show you a few more of my animations. Yeah, silverfish are horrible. I used this silverfish one for this one. And I'm also using Minecraft logic. Like every time you get hit, you'll like go red. There you go. Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of Minecraft. And guys, I made this one today as well in the afternoon. So it has the scroll effect. There you go. So he flies up and he summons some fire blasts like that. So he's in a yogic posture and then he floats a little bit and laughs a little bit. And that is the blue one, the power of water. There you go, the spin effect once again. And then it just fixes itself in one position. And the spin effect is really good for repetition. There you go. So now this guy throws one at the fire guy. I know logically the fire is supposed to extinguish, but I wanted the fire guy to win, so yes. There you go. And all the balls fall down. Yeah, so that is an advanced physics simulation. I'm also going to teach you guys how to do that later, not now. There you go. I think it's saved. I think it should be somewhere around here. Yes, look at that. Okay, so yeah, the nice scroll. So they teleport to each other. Then the ball appears. Oh, I just noticed I named it Poor of Friendship. I guess I'll rename that later. Look at that. So now it's going to keep increasing and then it's going to drop. As you guys know, you guys already know the story, of course. There you go. Look at that. So as you saw, it looped again. So I'm going to close this, and well, that's all I had to teach you guys for today. And I hope you find my videos useful, because if you do, then I'm going to get more likes. Wait, you guys aren't liking me? You're finding my videos useful? Well, if you're not, then please do like my videos if you find them useful. And if you think our channel is good enough, then please subscribe. There are no restrictions. So bye for now and see you guys next time. Bye!